Hey guys, my name is Neel and welcome to Neel Workshop Zone. So in this episode we will be talking about the topic of frustum. So in our previous episodes we talked about hemisphere, spheres, cone, etc. So if you haven't checked it out, I recommend you go on those episodes. But in this episode we will be talking about a frustum. So without further ado, let's talk about it. So first of all, what is a frustum? Well, a frustum is a cone. When it is divided horizontally into two parts, the bottom part is called the frustum. So for example, let me draw a cone. So let's say this is a cone. So now when you divide it horizontally into two pieces, let's say like this, the bottom part is called frustum. Now the above part, however, will become a cone because when it's cut horizontally, it turns into a cone. So for example, something like this. But the upper part becomes something like this. So this is what we call as a frustum. So now that we have understood what a frustum looks like, let's try to find out the measurements that we use for finding out the surface area or the volumes of frustum. So this obviously is the slant height, or we also call it with the letter L. And this is obviously the height. And since this is a circular base, this one we can write as R1, or we'll call it as capital R. And the upper circular base we'll call it as R2 or small r. So now that we have understood the measurements that we use for finding out the surface area and volume of frustum, let's use the formulas to find out the surface area and volume of frustum. So first let's talk about the surface area of frustum. So the formula for finding out the surface area of a frustum is pi L R1 plus R2 plus pi R1 square plus R2 square. Let me take my razor real quick. So this is the formula for finding out the surface area, the total surface area of a frustum. So now that we have found out the total surface area, we obviously need to find out the length, because the slant height is not usually given in questions. So for example, a question is asked where they give you the radius of the, they give you the small radius and the bigger radius, but it won't give you the length, they'll only give you the height. So when you only have the height, you obviously need to find out the formula of the slant height. And to do that, we obviously need a formula. Now in other shapes, for example like cone, etc., you have some formulas, but for frustum the formula is different. So the formula for frustum is L is equal to root R1 minus R2 minus H squared. So like this. So this is a formula that we need to use to find out the slant height of the frustum. So for example, let us take a question. Let's say this is a frustum. Let's say the bottom height is, let's take the height as 4 centimeters, and let's take R1 as 5 centimeters and R2 as 2 centimeters. So by doing this, root R1 minus R2, so 5 minus 2 is 3, 3 3s are 9, 9 minus, you also have h square, so h square is basically 4, so 4 4 16, so L is equals to 9 minus 16. Let me take my razor real quick. It's obviously a plus, so we need to use plus, not minus. So doing that, we get 9 plus 16, so L is equal to root 25, and the root of 25 is 5. So we got L is equals to 5. Now that we have got that L is equal to 5, let's plug it in the formula. So let's say pi into 5, or let's say 3.14 into 5 into R1 plus R2, so 5 plus 2 is 7, plus pi, so 3.14 into R1 square plus R2 square, so 25 plus 4 is 29. So these sums do get a little bit complicated, so let me do this real quick. 3.14 into 5, 5 4 is 20, 2 5 1 is 5, plus 2 7, 5 3 is 15, 15.70. So 15.70 into 7, 7 0 is 0, 7 7 is 49, 4, 7 3 is 21, 25, 2, 7 7 8 9. So 95.90. So 95.90 plus 3.14 into 29. So 3.14 into 29. 9 4 is 36, 3 9 1 is 9, 10 11 12 2 1, 9 3 is 27, 28, 3 4 is 8, 2 1 is 2, and 2 3 is 6. Now 6 0 1 1, you carry 1 9. So 95.90 plus 91.06 is 186.96. So centimeter square. So this is the total surface area of a frustum. Now this formula is really big and it might get confusing, but this is how you have to find it out. Now the curved surface area is not this complicated. It has a lot more simpler formula to use. Let me erase this real quick. So the formula for the curved surface area is pi, R1 plus R2 into L. So 3.14, let's take the same values, let's take this as 5. So 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 into 5, 35, so 3.14 into 35. Let me do this real quick, 3.14 into 35, 5 4 is 20, 2 5 1 is 5, 6 7, 5 3 is 15, 3 4 is 12, 1, 3 1 is 3, 4 3 3 is 9. So 0, 9, 9, 10. So 10, 9, 9, 90, and putting dots here, the answer is 109.90 centimeters square. So this is the formula for finding out the curved surface area of a frustum. So this is how we find out the curved surface area and the total surface area of a frustum. We'll talk about the how to find out the volume of frustum in the next episode, but for now this is it. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss on any new videos. And that's all folks, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.